Hello, you've reached Hack Games. My name is Jeremy, and this is episode 4 of our Reformed Fiend playthrough of Pathfinder. Last episode, we spent the entirety of the episode in the Shield Maze. We cleared out most of it. The only things remaining for us to kill in here are a couple of elementals. If we look at the map, we are going to have a couple of earth elementals over here in this area where we have a little bit of loot left, and a water elemental over in this area where there's a little bit of loot for us to pick up. So this episode, what we're going to do is go kill those and then head up to the surface. So let's go. We will start with the earth elementals over here. As we're running over there, I'm just going to check up on kind of where we're at, because it looks like we're kind of beaten up here. We do have a couple cooldowns left, though. I think what we'll do is we'll probably go ahead and drink some potions to get some extra HP, and then just go ahead and try this fight.
Lead on.
Oops. Face this way, guys. So we are going to go through a little bit of the stack of Cure Light Wounds potions. However, you kind of get more of these than you would ever actually use. I should say, additionally, I watched the creator of Pathfinder, Jason Bulmahn, playing the game over the weekend here, and noticed that he was using an option to play on real time but pause at the end of each round. I have turned that on. I want to see how it plays. I've played with it a little bit outside of this video, and I do like how it plays. It's really a in-between of real-time and turn-based combat that I think functions very well. It allows you to make decisions at the end of each round, but still have the rounds mechanically process simultaneously between everybody. So we're going to have Lan go ahead. Actually, I'm going to give the Doggo a buff here before I do this, but then we're going to have Lan go get us some earth elementals.
You've crossed the wrong obstacle.
We'll have him run way back there. Oh, I forgot to put everybody on hold. Let's see, that'll probably be okay. We'll just do it here. Lan, you keep... Oops. I do want him to get almost through this doorway before we kind of move up. So there's the pause at the end of the round. That's fine. We're going to let him come a little bit more forward before we put everyone in action here. Right about there. So there's another pause at the end of the round here. We're actually not going to do a lot different. Well, what we should do probably is we're going to put everyone on hold again, and we're just going to come in here, face this way. It'll only take one round for him to be afraid and come back. So we just want to make sure that the elephant is in the right direction. And we're good to go now again. Oh! That was quite the beatdown. Gonna get the dog in there first, and actually gonna switch her back to ranged. Give us some hellfire. Sela really doesn't have anything to do there. There we go. Got just a little bit of loot to pick up here, and then we are going to rest before the water elemental. The water elemental is probably, I don't want to say the most difficult, but the most dangerous encounter. He has a very good chance to hit you, and if he hits you, he does enough damage to usually kill, not outright, but knock them down in one turn, and then he puts a debuff on them that continues to do 2d6 damage until he's dead, essentially. So people do usually end up permanently dying in that fight if they get hit early. So we'll take a little rest here, and like I said, I would always set this to 1 day. It does not calculate an efficient way to use your healing spells if you go for multiple days. We'll let them have their little camp conversation here. Lan was giving Camellia a little bit of a tongue lashing, but she just kind of denies him. Yeah, we fail at everything again. That will get better as we get a couple more characters in the party, and we can kind of optimize them for sleeping roles a little bit better. Alright, let's see what we want to do here. I'm going to put... Well, we'll do that last. We'll do the...
Open your heart to me.
do this one first, and I think we're going to cast this on us. Then we'll also cast it on Sela. This is a minute per level, so it's not too bad to put this one out first. We need to drink this.
Always be ready for the worst.
I think we're going to give him a magic fang and give us a bow upgrade. Do we have anything else? Is this... Yeah, let's go ahead and put this on tanky type guy here.
I will help where I can.
Death is life's final surprise. And I enjoy it.
And one of the things I am missing from the party that I wish I would have picked up, I almost wish I would have had Camellia go into Stigmatized Witch instead of staying in Shaman, so she could have got Mage Armor. Also, the other option for the Hex here would have been Protective Luck. That helps out a lot in this fight. Protective Luck, what that does is gives disadvantage, and you can continue to use it round after round after round. So as long as you have them swinging at one target, you can make the enemies swing disadvantage against the one target every round, or every attack. So let's just grab him a couple extra buffs here. We're going to do Bark Skin. Do I have Mage Armor? I do have Mage Armor. We got 28 there, and Shield. There, we're up to 30. That should be decent.
We should move.
Oh, I'm going to switch back to the... Oh, did I sell the glaives? I did sell the glaives. Never mind, I'm not doing that. So we're just going to use our axe here. That's fine. Again, since we're biting, we're going to get in melee range anyways. It's not that big of a deal.
I found something.
So in we go here. We're going to save it real quick, get lined up, and have the elephant charge. Oh, I guess we're not having a charge. There we go.
Do not fear. Do not waver.
So we're going to do challenge. Okay, I think you have to do them in that order. So, we can't charge, but we will get angry. And we're going to put this on her, just to make sure she hits right away with her challenge. And see, this is what's bad for the pets here. Natural attacks do get you that freezing, which I guess is 1d8. I was thinking maybe it was 2d6 when I was doing this on Unfair. But that's quickly gonna drop them, actually, which I was hoping wouldn't happen there. Because we don't have a lot of defense after... Well, I guess the water element's half dead, though. But we don't have a lot of defense after Snuffles here goes down. So we're going to go ahead and put a little flare on there, and we'll give us the fortunate buff here now. And it's dead. So even though this is going to continue going and technically damage is going to pop up periodically above them, they're not going to take any damage after the elemental dies.
What's that there?
The nice thing about this is we've just used a bunch of buffs, but there aren't any more encounters in the shield maze here that we're going to take on. We're going to go through the sewers, the short sewer level, and up into the Great Garrison. So we're going to reach the surface here, and we will automatically be put back to full spell slots and full hit points once we do that. So we do not need to take another rest to kind of recover from that fight. And the buffs that we have that are longer buffs, like Mage Armor and Barkskin, will still be on us when we get up there. Blur obviously is going to drop, and I believe those are dropping right now. But our mutagen is still going to be on us when we get up there, and we'll have the ability to drink another mutagen. So when it falls off, if it takes us more than 8 minutes to get through this, we'll be able to drink it again right away. Oh, I'm just going to leave that loot there. There's nothing special in that box. It's just a couple pieces that would get sold in bulk selling. So we're just going to get rid of stuff real quick here. Actually, there might not be anything to get rid of. No, we're good. Let's get the heck out of here.
While the survivors wander the dungeons, the battle on the surface rages on. The warriors of Canabras are trying to defend the Wardstone, but their strength is flagging. Their resistance is valiant, yet it will all be in vain if no one rises up to turn the tide.
Oh, they can hear the sounds of battle from above. But we're going to go ahead and click on everything down here before we go investigate it. Because who knows when or if we'll be back here. The half-orc before us wears armor adorned with Iomede's golden swords. She's clearly exhausted. She obviously hasn't gotten much sleep over the last few days. There's soot on her face and fresh blood on her sword. Her hazel eyes are hard and focused, and her firm voice sounds accustomed to giving orders. She sizes you up, surprised, judging whether you're a friend or foe, and opens her mouth to ask you something but freezes when she spots a Nebia.
By the goddess, Nebi,
I'd almost lost all hope.
Everything's fine, Beth. I'm here. I'm here. This here is a new friend. She rounded up those of us who survived the fall and led us up to the surface. Without her, we'd never have made it out. Let me introduce you to my wife, Arabeth Tirabade, head of the Eagle Watch.
Until the army arrives, I'm the temporary warden of Canabras. And you're just in time. As you can see, we're in the middle of a battle. And thank you for getting Nevia out of there.
Where are we?
Until recently, it served as barracks for the Crusaders, but it's now been taken over by cultists.
Well, what's the target of this battle?
When the demons attacked the city, their main target was the Wardstone. I trust I don't have to explain to you what the Wardstone is and how important it is to the Crusaders. We must retake it at any cost, or the fall of Canabras will be the beginning of the end of the Crusades, and with them, the rest of the world. I see that you had a difficult journey to the surface. You need to rest. But there's a lot riding on this battle. I have no right to command you, but I'm asking you to help us.
I have important information about the location of a cultist den, which was actually originally given to me by your wife, Anevia. I don't know why she didn't just keep it and give it to you directly.
Very good. Report to me in full when we get back to the Defender's Heart. It's our temporary headquarters. Right now, the most dangerous cultists are here. The ones occupying the Grey Garrison.
Hey, we met some mongrels who live beneath Canabras. This here is land.
Most people in Canabras think that the children of the first Crusaders are simply a legend. Other people say that the day you emerge on the surface heralds the start of the end of the world. I'm not superstitious, but the situation is apocalyptic, all right. Having a living legend on our side can't hurt.
Come on, living legend? A walking folktale, maybe? I just need to make sure I don't turn into a running joke.
What's the situation in the city?
The city's gone. Most of the defenders, including the Dragon Terendelev, fell in the first few hours. The civilians either fled or died in the chaos. The place is overrun with cultists and demons.
Don't talk like that. Canabras hasn't fallen. Not while it still has defenders like you and me.
Sweet words don't change the grim truth.
No, she's right. Thank you, Knight. Until we no longer have the strength to hold a weapon, until Iomedae abandons us, we will fight for Canabras.
Well, tell me about this Wardstone. Why is it so important?
The Wardstones are a gift of Iomedae, created personally by her herald, a mighty angel, and a general of the celestial armies. The Wardstones keep the world wound from expanding. They stand along the border of the territory controlled by the demons, creating a barrier to keep them inside. The Canabras obelisk was the first to be placed. It is the key to the whole barrier. We cannot leave it in the hands of those monsters from the abyss.
How did the Wardstone end up in the Grey Garrison?
The demons have long laid siege to Canabras, but this time, their lord Discari appeared in the flesh. He ripped the Wardstone from the ground and hurled it halfway across the city to here. I thought the stone was destroyed, but it seems all is not lost yet. Discari has gone, but the Wardstone is surrounded by a horde of those creatures. What are they going to do to it? Nothing good, that's for certain.
But how did he do that? He's a demon. The Wardstone should have burned his filthy hide.
It should have. But what happened, happened. We don't know why.
Let's not waste any more time talking here. To battle!
That's the spirit. You, take Anevia to the rear. The rest of you with me.
Horgus is sweating. He's gonna run out, though.
Lord Horgus Worm, forgive me. I did not realize we had civilians among us. My people will escort you somewhere safe. To the extent that anywhere in Canabras can be said to be safe right now.
That's right. Fighting spirit is the one thing that we've got plenty of. Actual fighting power, that's not so great. Fighting know-how, even worse. But fighting spirit, at least we're rich in that.
For Ioma Day! For the Queen! Kill the beast!
Alright, we're going to let them go ahead and run down the hallway while we pick up these Bardishas here. So, I guess Irabade, or Tirabeth, I'm getting that wrong. Tirabade is going to lead the charge here, and we also have Staunton. We have some recruits, but they'll kind of be dying and coming back to life throughout the course of this. We can let them do most of the tanking and killing, though. We'll just kind of follow behind them and kill what we have to. And then take everybody's loot. So this door right here, we have a pretty low chance to pick the lock. I am not going to try to pick this right now because we will be back in this area eventually, at which point we will have gotten several levels and should have a better chance to grab it then. And there's nothing important in there. Hey, I know you. So you're one of these cultists? How's it going, pal? Want to join? Your lot will all be dead soon, but we'll be alive. I can't. Come on. Leave these losers. The Crusades are over. Soon the demons will rule the whole world. Here goes nothing. All hail Baphomet. So, for this fight, what's going to happen is these guys are going to head over here first, but we also do have a clump of cultists around here. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make us try to run through everybody and get back here. I'm not really interested in kind of having them attack my characters first. I would like Irabeth and Staunton here to go down this way first. So we might get stuck kind of in the way up here. And we might get a couple of attacks of opportunity against us. But we're going to get through and then we're going to be into these guys in the back here. Oh, that actually took me down, but I'm not dead, so that's fine. Let's see. We'll go ahead and have her throw a heal on me. We could technically wait until this gets over and then we'd get the extra -6 hit points back. But this section isn't actually very long, so I don't care that much about those. We're fine letting the pet go out ahead here. There are some guys further down here, but we can let them encounter them first so that they will be targeted by the enemies. So let's go get in combat now.
Attack!
The last one being this mage up here. Alright, everybody's dead. So one thing we are going to do here is it's going to prompt us for what we want to take off these guys when we go up to the next level. So we're not going to go pick everything up here. We are going to pick everything up once we go to the 3rd floor here. We are also though going to go ahead and just take, the buffs that we can take here.
I heed the voice of the spirits.
Well, didn't quite get the dog there. Alright. I think I will go ahead and give me a heal here. And, oh, I ran out. I am not going to use a potion, though. I'm okay without the potion here. I'm going to have the dog turn cleave back on. So we're just going to collect all the stuff. It's going to overload us, but in this case, we only have one map to go through, and then we'll get warped to a location where we can sell it. So we don't mind being overloaded for that short period of time.
What's this? Do we have guests? Just in time. The place is a bit of a mess, and I haven't even poured the blood into the goblets yet. Why don't you... Oh! What an unexpected surprise! Staunton, my little sweetheart. Long time no see. I've missed you so much. Have you missed me? Admit it. You missed me terribly.
Minago. You again, you wench!
Minago, the one who... Be careful. She's one of the deadliest creatures in the whole demon horde. She was once responsible for a massacre in Canabris. She must be back to finish what she started.
Staunton, do you know this demon?
Does he know me? Staunton, darling. Tell them all how close we were.
That wench? She's the one who led me astray. She's the reason my life has gone to the abyss. She's the reason my Dresden fell.
Oh my, like butter wouldn't melt. What I remember is how eagerly you would run to our trysts, how you begged to see me again, how you promised you'd do anything I asked. By your own free will, you said this. And now you claim that Dresden fell because of me. No, my dear. That was entirely your own doing.
I'll beat your lying lips into your filthy throat!
Now, Staunton, don't say things like that. Not about these lips, the ones you kissed so sweetly. Staunton, dearest, don't you love me anymore? Remember how good we were together? I was so hoping that we could patch things up.
I'll kill you!
And in we go. Again, we are going to temporarily hold here just to let the our allies go ahead and get a little bit in front of us and take the brunt of this assault if possible. What did we get hit by? So we did go down. I would think that we probably got hit by a longbow here. Yep, sharpshooter. Hit us right away at the beginning of the fight. So we probably should have healed up a little bit. But again, it's not going to be too big of a deal here. We're not going to die. Our elephant got targeted by the magic missiles, which is too bad. And that's that. So let's grab this loot here. We'll be even more overweight. But since we're two giants currently, I guess we're okay on that front.
Call me again if you need to.
The mongrel did it.
As we step into the chamber, our vision seems to darken and our knees buckle. You struggle to keep our balance. The air in here is laden with the power coming from the stone. Suddenly our head is filled with voices, screaming, whispering, cackling, threatening voices pleading for help, shrieking curses and taunts. You blink, and the illusion passes.
Congratulations. You made it all the way here. This is it, your precious Wardstone. But what are you planning to do now, I could kill you where you stand, but wouldn't it be nice if you could die in battle like heroes? No. I want you to die in despair, scrabbling around like rats in the blighted ruins of your city, blind and broken, your flesh scabbed and seeping, and every moment knowing precisely what was done to you.
Sounds terrifying. Except that's how we've been living for generations.
There isn't a soul that can resist the temptations of the abyss. Even a stone can be turned. I'm not joking. Your precious Wardstone, weakened from the injury inflicted by Discari, has almost succumbed to my charms. Soon the whole barrier around the world wound, the gift of your useless goddess, will be a weapon of the abyss. Just a little more, and boom! Every city with one of these eyesores stuck in the middle of it, from Canabras to Neruxine, will turn into smoking craters, and all the mortals into red sludge beneath our hooves. So you have a choice. Especially you, my pet. Kiss me on my dainty hoof. Pledge your loyalty to Baphomet. And when the world falls, its ruin shall be yours.
Wait, who are you again?
You've already forgotten me. You mortals have awfully short memories. Even shorter than your little lives. Staunton, sweetums. Don't you want to introduce me to your friends properly? No? Well, I'd better do it myself. I am Minago, really true and faithful servant of Baphomet, and leader of his armies. The city is mine now. I'm just starting to settle in, get things just how I like them. But once I'm finished, I promise you, the results will be simply to die for.
And it was such a charming little place until you sullied it with your presence. It had such lovely boulevards, quiet and shaded. You took those away from me, and I shan't forgive you for that.
They've done much worse things than spoil the promenades. All the people they've killed.
Yes, of course, you're right. I grieve for the common folk as well.
She sounds very concerned, doesn't she? This is going to tell us that throughout the game we will have dialogue options which require or lead into specific paths. It doesn't actually require that path. It might later after you pick your path, but currently it does not. What are you doing to that stone?
Well, quite what am I doing to it? Probably the same thing I did to many of your comrades. Sweetly and tenderly persuading it to abandon the mortals and join our side.
Prepare to fight to the death, demon! We won't let that happen.
So here I'm just going to go with the good option, which is our Angel Mythic path. Your victory celebrations are a little premature, demon. Echoing the holy flame erupting from our hand, the light also gets brighter and brighter until it floods the chamber. You hear the voices again, stronger now. They repeat our words like a choir of angels.
Hey, no eyes! Didn't you tell us that heaven had turned its back on us and no one would come to our aid?
Don't listen to her. The Fiend wants us all to lose hope. She won't succeed.
I'm done with this shit! I only followed this hooked menace because I thought the Crusaders had it, and there was no other way to protect my family. But now I see that there is hope. I won't bow before these
heinous idols ever again. If they kill me, at least I'll die a decent death.
Yes! Return to our side, friends! Have courage! We will welcome you back, and heaven never abandoned you, no matter what this deceiver told you.
Turncoat, I'll cut out your heart.
We'll see how tough you really are. We let you frighten us once, but it won't happen again.
Do not fear! Do not waver!
And in we go.
This is not my time yet.
So this fight's a little bit scripted here. We are not going to win this fight.
I'm tired of playing around now. You want to know what will happen when I'm done with the Wardstone? Here's a little demonstration.
The demoness whispers a spell, and a wave of darkness sweeps through the chamber. Our companions wince in pain, but it is nothing compared to what we feel. Thousands of voices once again burst into our mind, drowning you in their moans, screams, and sobs. Pain racks through our skull. Your evil spells won't stop a righteous army.
Iomade is with us!
Yes, yes. Keep telling yourself that.
The roar of voices blends into an unbearable wall of screaming. Our vision goes dark.
Praise Iomade, you woke up. Healing your wounds was easy, but you were unconscious for so long I was starting to worry we'd lost you.
Did we win?
Sadly, no. We couldn't stand up to the demoness. Her spells were too strong. It's all right. We'll handle it somehow. You blacked out, but Staunton and I managed to get you here to the Defender's Heart. It used to be a tavern, but now it's our headquarters. We're gathering our forces here, and we're preparing to strike back.
I got a cultist dispatch in that dungeon. It seems they're holed up in the Tower of Estrad.
Demons have been filling Canabras with their spies and infiltrators for a long time. Unfortunately, I don't have enough people to attack the place right now, at least not blindly. I'd be grateful if you snuck in there and scouted out the situation. But just scouting. Don't be a hero.
What's the situation in the rest of the city?
Bad, but not hopeless. We're constantly getting news, and new sources of resistance keep springing up in the districts where everyone seemed to be dead. The survivors are gathering here. You should see them. Their faces, their eyes burning with determination. The city is destroyed, but our resistance is not broken. We will keep fighting.
What do you plan to do next?
You heard what the demon said. They're going to desecrate the Wardstone and blow up the whole barrier around the World Wound. That would be an even worse disaster than the World Wound's expansion before the Second Crusade. Not only Canabras, but every city with a Wardstone will be destroyed, including the capital. We can't allow that no matter what. We will retake it, even destroy it if we must. Iomade's gift must not become a weapon of the Abyss.
Tell me about the Wardstone. Why is it so important?
The Wardstones are a gift of Iomade, created personally by her herald, a mighty angel, and a general of the celestial armies. The Wardstones keep the World Wound from expanding. They stand along the border of the territory controlled by the demons, creating a barrier to keep them inside. The Canabras obelisk was the first to be placed. It is the key to the whole barrier. We cannot leave it in the hands of those monsters from the Abyss.
Can I help you in any way?
First of all, we need to decide what to do with the stone once we get it. What I'm about to say is classified. A traveler came to the city recently. A blind elf calling himself the Storyteller. He insisted he be allowed to examine the Wardstone, and he raised the alarm when his study was finished. Even before the demon attack, he had found some damage or flaw in the stone.
For those of you who haven't played Kingmaker, the Storyteller is a character from that game as well. He's a mysterious figure. You don't really know his background, but he can touch items, and he can see the past of those items.
Prelate Hulrune dismissed his words as nonsense, borderline blasphemy. But between you and me, the prelate's opinion isn't worth much. I think the storyteller knew what he was talking about. We could use his advice right now. If only we knew where he was. I remember the storyteller spent a lot of time talking to Staunton, a dwarf from my unit. You saw him during the demon attack. The elf asked him about the history of the Crusades. Maybe the storyteller told Staunton something about where we could find him if anything happened. There's another problem. After the attack, the demons began to gather their forces at the Grey Garrison. It'll be even harder to take them with a head-on assault. But I once heard soldiers talking about a secret entrance to the garrison. The trouble is, I have no idea where to look for it. While you explore the city, please keep your eyes open, in case you find something you can use. And one last thing. The Eagle Watch has lost a lot of soldiers recently. Some were killed, but others simply haven't been seen since the attack. In the chaos that is now Canabris, it's next to impossible to confirm anything for sure. One of the missing fighters is Janna Aldori, a new recruit in the Watch. She got along well with Sela, and she often went drinking with her. I honestly thought Sela and Janna had died together. But now Sela's returned with you, and there's no sign of Janna. If you learn anything of her whereabouts when you're out in the city, please report back.
Everything is clear.
May the goddess help you. We're still fighting, which means that Canabris still hasn't fallen. If you come across any groups in the city that can fight, send them here to the Defender's Heart. We'll need every fighter we can muster for the final assault. Yes, one more thing. If you're in the area, check out this address. It's our house, mine and Anevia's. Well, it was our house. If the building is still standing, open the hidden compartment in the kitchen. It's filled with supplies for a rainy day. You can take...
Apologies, I cut off that a little short there. She was just saying we could take the things out of her cupboard. So, the rest of this is going to be some communication with the people in the inn here, and then we will go ahead and do our level up, because we did receive those before the end of this episode. I'm not going to do all of the conversations, because there are a lot of them, and it's going to take a long time, so I'm going to try to do maybe half of them here. If we can get through that many, we'll just get through as many as we can get through. Hey, wait. Mind if I bend your ear about something? So here's the first and most important thing. Beth gave us a crucial mission. I get that, and I know we'll get the job done. I saw us in action. But here's the rub. By sending you out on an errand, we're weakening our defenses here. If they come at us while you're gone, I don't know if we'll be able to fight them off. Well, everything seems clear so far. What else do you wish to discuss? So the rift that damn beetle left with its scythe? Yeah, well, it cut the city into two. And it's kind of difficult to get across. My scouts tell me there's a halfway decent place to set up a crossing in Market Square. Not that any of them tried to make it. But if you've got a mind to go across, and I think you're going to have to, eventually, you might want to give the square a once-over. Do you want me to stay here and guard the tavern? You, what? No. Your task is far too important. You can't just hole up here all cozy-like, waiting for the demons to knock on the door. We need to take the fight to them. But if those freaks try to make a move on this place, Beth will send a runner to us. If that happens, leg it back here, alright? Because if you don't, you'll be coming back to an ash pile. Got it? When do you think the demons will attack next? Your guess is as good as mine. It might not be here. They could attack the whole damn city. Those vermin know they've lost the upper hand and that we're going to push back hard. If things kick off here, you should know, after the attack, some things could be changed beyond recognition. So if you've got any business that needs taken care of, you better do it soon. Alright, well, thanks for the warning. See you later. That last little bit was to let you know that there is an event that takes place here, and buildings can be damaged within that event. If they do get damaged, you do lose access to them. So we've got Staunton sitting right over here. We'll go talk with him. Oh, it's you. Good work back there in the Great Garrison. Name's Staunton Vane, if you've heard rumors about me. Just so you know, everything people say about me is true. Well, we need to talk to an elf who calls himself a Storyteller. Do you know where I can find him? The Storyteller? A strange old fellow, that one. He used to sit with me for hours, asking about all sorts of things. He never offered judgment or comfort. He just listened. At first I wanted him and his questions as far away from me as possible, but later I realized that talking to him did ease my burden a little. I hope he's alive and well. He's completely blind and feeble too. So if he's alone in the city, well, you probably know what that means. I do know one place he might be. Look for him in the Black Wing. It's a library. Here, I'll show you where it is on the map. I don't know what use a library is to a blind elf, but he loved the place. He would sit there day and night. Well, what do people say about you? They say I'm a traitor, as bad as a Rilu Vorlesh. That I'm a disgrace, even among the ranks of the condemned. That Queen Galfrey should never have spared me. That I belong on the gallows. Well, why do they hate you so much? You really don't know? I'm the reason why the Crusade forces are holed up in fortresses on the edge of the World Wound, instead of bringing the fight to the demons. We used to have a foothold in the Wound, the mighty, unassailable city of Dresden. We used to have it until it fell, all because of my stupidity. I gave the enemy our main citadel. I was tried. They wanted to execute me, and rightly so, but the Queen intervened. She said that I should live and fight in order to undo what I had done, so that's how I live. Decade after decade, fighting in the condemned. As you can see, I have fixed nothing, and I've earned no one's forgiveness. Are you going to spit in my face too? It wouldn't surprise me. I think we're going to take the lawful option here. You keep living and fighting with no hope of anything better, because that's what the Queen ordered you to do. There's some honor in that. You may be right, but you know, even stone and iron get worn down over time. I know what it means to live a regimented life, but I cannot rely on my discipline alone forever. I pray to Torag, though he does not listen, that my body breaks before my conscience does. A whole city fell because of you? How is that possible? What do you mean, how? If you don't trust the word of a condemned, go ask somebody else, like my little brother Joran. And if you still don't believe me, what's it to me? But if you're about to ask me to recount the story of my disgrace for the 1000th time, don't. You really don't have any friends? I couldn't have survived this long if I was completely alone. Joran, my little brother, he keeps me going. He's never abandoned me. Everyone else shies away from me like they might catch what I've got. Even fighters in the condemned console themselves by thinking, I got stripped of my rank, but at least I'm not Staunton. Commander Tirabade seems to be the only person in the whole army who remembers that I'm a soldier and not a drudge. She has no qualms about taking me into battle. She's had some mud flung at her in the past, or so I hear. That's why she tries to keep an open mind about people. It's no surprise that she's the only one to hold on to her sense of reason in this farce. So many years in the condemned, surely you've paid your penance by now. That's not up to me to decide. My life is in the Queen's hands. The condemned isn't the worst part. All these years I have prayed to Torag for forgiveness. Countless times I've gone to his priests. Countless times I've kneeled before his altar. If only the Father of Dwarvenkind would answer my prayers just once. Not to restore what I've lost, but just to tell me that I am still one of his children. But it seems he doesn't give a damn about me. What can I expect from mere mortals when my own God doesn't think I deserve redemption? Well, that's lovely, but I have to go. Go on, then. Maybe we'll see each other again. Let's see. What we're going to do now is we're going to run downstairs real quick, I think. We'll talk to Janna here. This is a priest with a simple wooden symbol of Erastil on his chest. Are you one of the Crusaders? Thank you for defending those of us whose talents lie off the battlefield. I'm Janna, servant of Erastil. Pleased to meet you. Well, what are you doing here? I only took my holy orders recently, so my God has only bestowed a little of his power upon me as yet. I'm sorry to say that the number of wounded fighters in this tavern is far beyond my power to heal. But there's a reason people say, have faith in the gods, but look to yourself first. I may not be able to help the wounded with magic, but I can at least cut up the bandages. Are you from around here? No, I was just passing through Canabris. I was sailing down that old man of ours, the Great Selwyn River, to a village by the name of Chili Creek. I happened to land in the city on the eve of the festival, and I'm ashamed to say I decided to stay for a day to enjoy myself. But I ended up staying in the city longer than I bargained for. Chili Creek? Where's that? It's a small fishing village. It's not even marked on some maps, but people do live there. What they don't have is a priest. They have no one to heal their wounds, no one to offer prayers for a good catch, no one to give their dead a dignified burial, and the whirlwind's a stone's throw away. So I'll be setting sail for Chili Creek to serve my god and my people. Once we've held Canabras, I'll be going there. If by the grace of the good gods we all survive this, you should come and visit me sometime. You'll find the village here, on the bank of a river. He marks the location of the village on our map. Aren't you, a young and inexperienced cleric, afraid to go to the border of the Whirlwind? I won't lie, I am afraid, but what can I do? Those villages are simple people. Every day their short lives are spent doing hard, honest work. That's exactly the kind of life I want. Something simple, but meaningful. If I'd had centuries ahead of me, like elves do, I might have spared some 50 years or so to travel around the world. Or maybe even 100, why not? But I don't have time to spare. So I want to spend my short life in the place where I'm needed most, even if it's dangerous. Especially if it's dangerous. Well, I could use the help of a cleric. Erastil knows I'd be glad to help you, but it's no use. My spells are depleted, and I have no training in potion or scrolls. See this robe I'm cutting up for bandages? It's the second to last one. Alright, well I have to go. May Erastil watch over you. Surrender thy soul, Delvin. Iomade, protect us! Haha, I got you again. How many times is that today? Alright, so there's a little lever puzzle down here. There's 3 levers. Right here, and right here. You don't have to touch this one. We're just going to go touch this one. We're going to go touch this one. We're going to go steal this shield. And we're going to push a button right here. This gains us access to a doorway here, where we get some loot with kind of a sad letter about why this shrine is no longer in use. And a magic headband, which we will give to Sela, probably, because it's going to increase her charisma, which is going to assist in her persuasion attempts, and it'll help with her smite evil. We'll grab this extra loot real quick, and then we'll talk to this guy in the cage.
Hey, Chief! Ooh, hey, gorgeous. Come over here. I want to talk to you about something. Something really important.
Quit bothering the decent people in here, Woljif, or I'll knock your teeth out!
What's it to you, Delvin Dum-Dum? You were told to guard me, and I'm not stopping you. But no one told me I had to shut my trap.
Oh, who are you?
Woljif. Woljif Jefto. I deal in useful things. I can get you whatever you want. Anything. But there's just one problem.
The Tiefling rattles his chains at us. What do you want from me?
I'll lay it out for you. Simple job, 30 minutes tops. We go someplace, talk to someone, and in return, whatever you want, I'll get it for you. Some extra rations? No problem. Armor, weapons, scrolls, you name it. It's as good as yours. If you need my help with something, whistle and I'll be there. I'm handy enough with knives too, and even my magic know-how isn't too shabby.
What a load of guff! If you were good at magic, you wouldn't be stuck in here now, would you?
Don't you listen to him, Chief. He'd find fault with the Queen herself. I'll be useful to have in battle, and I'll sell whatever you want at a reasonable price. It's your lucky day. You won't meet another gem like me in Canabras.
Why are you in chains?
Does it really matter? Don't get hung up on the past, Chief. Don't look to the future. Live in the here and now.
He was caught thieving.
Your shadow. What was that?
Get me out of here and I'll tell you. And don't worry, it's not contagious.
Well, I can't help you while you're chained up here. How can I free you?
That's easy. You know Irabeth? Feisty looking gal, always wears armor. You can't miss her. She's the meanest fighter in the whole city. When you see her, put in a good word for me, will ya? Tell her there's this guy, Woljif, locked up for no good reason in the Defender's Heart. Well, for the follies of his youth. And he really wants to get out on bail so he can keep up his good behavior and make a contribution to society. Got that? Will you do it?
All right. I'll talk to Yerabeth about your situation.
I knew I could count on you. Knew it the moment I laid eyes on you.
We'll talk later. All right. I'm going to hop back to our room real quick and we'll do our level up. Oh, we'll open this chest too. We have a couple items in here from pre-ordering. We've got a little head chomper owl who gives us a +2 morale bonus on perception and lore. We've got this necklace which gives us, well, it's not identified yet, but it gives us a bonus to persuasion. And these boots which give us a bonus to saving throws against movement and parrying effects. Which, okay, we've just identified them there. So, level up. Let's start with Sela. So, Sela's going to be continuing down the Paladin line here now. If we want to split her off again, we can, but we want to get at least 15 levels into Paladin. And if we split her off into a non-pet class, we would want to look at taking Boon Companion to make up for, whatever levels we split her off in pet progress. Currently, our pet won't start getting progress until we reach the 5th level of Paladin, which is where our Divine Bond comes in. So it will gain levels, but miss out on effective levels, essentially, for the next 3, but then retroactively gain those once we choose Divine Bond in Divine Bond Pet. So this level, she is going to gain Lay on Hands and Divine Grace. Divine Grace is really good. It just ups her saving throws for her charisma modifier. And Lay on Hands, we talked about a little bit in the previous episode. It's an alright ability. It's good to use for Lay on Hands self. That's a swift action. It's not great to use for Lay on Hands others. That's a standard action. It means you lose your attacks. And it really doesn't heal that much. So we are going to put a point in mobility, again, because she is eventually going to be riding a mount. Mobility is really important for that. We're going to keep her as our religion person, and we're just going to keep upping persuasion. I haven't completely plotted out what I want to do with her, but it's likely that we'll get something along the lines of Dreadful Carnage or Cornigan Smash, or something that utilizes persuasion in an intimidation check fashion. So this level, it actually suggests Boon Companion for us. If you're planning to go all the way in Paladin, do not take Boon Companion. It will just be wasted because, like I said, once you are able to select at level 5 Paladin, the Divine Bond Pet, you retroactively gain those effective levels. And what Boon Companion does is it increases the abilities of our animal companion as calculated as though your class were 4 levels higher. So taking this immediately does not create the... it would only give the animal levels up to our current effective level. And we don't need that as long as we can hold out to level 5. So in this case, I think what we'll be doing with her eventually, I've kind of decided that I'm going to go 2-weapon fighting with her instead of, well, I'm going to go 2-weapon fighting with a shield, not 2-weapon fighting with 2 actual weapons, instead of using a 2-handed weapon. So when we look at that, Shield Bash is one of the things that we're going to want to eventually get, but we want to, before we get Shield Bash, we really want to already have 2-weapon fighting, the basic one. Let's go find that real quick. So in order to get 2-weapon fighting, we do need to have 15 dexterity. We are not going to be putting a point into dexterity at this first level up. So what we'll need to do is we'll need to wait until we have a belt, which gives us a dexterity bonus before we're able to select this one. So in that case, let's take a look at what's available for shield. Missile shield is alright. What we're really looking for here eventually is Bashing Finish, which requires shield bash and 2-weapon fighting and shield mastery. Shield Mastery requires those other 2 that we are going to be getting. Let's see, this, we're not going to be able to get that. We also want Mounted Shield, which requires Mounted Combat. We're not going to take Mounted Combat until level 7, though, because we can't actually ride the mount until level 7. And we already have Shield Focus. So we've got pretty much everything we need. Sorry, we've got everything that we can currently get from Shield, except for Shield Bash. We could grab this right now, but we're not going to technically use it probably until level 9. So I think I'd rather put that off for level 5. So at this level, I think what we'll do is we'll take Blind Fight. We do have a couple fights coming up against things like Succubi and Shades, but things that have concealment. And this assists us a lot in hitting those things. It also makes us immune to gaze attacks, and there are some gaze attacks coming up, not within the section that I've played through, but I know that some of the demons that we see that we don't actually encounter here do have gaze attacks that do things like lower your levels. And this makes us immune to that. And the bad thing about this is we can't actually interact with her her ability bar at this time until we get to a section where we can get into combat. And then we really want to go all the way through that combat before we can change things around. She did not get any spells, so we don't need to do anything with her spell book. So we will hop into Camellia here. Like I said, I kind of wish that I had gone down to Stigmatized Witch here in the first level up, or I guess technically the second level up. The reason that is you get a bunch of hexes right in a row. I'm not going to do that at this time because I'm not sure if the chant or cackle overlap with other classes' hexes. So if you pick up a Fortune and Spirit Hunter, I am not sure if the cackle selected from Stigmatized Witch will continue to increase the length on that buff. So we're just going to stay in Spirit Hunter for now. We are going to continue powering up Trickery because that's what she's good at, and we're going to get her some extra Perception. We are going to kind of keep her as, I guess, mid-range might be the right way to say it. We're not going to have her right on the front lines, so she's not really going to be using the rapier that she has. That does make this feat kind of worthless, but if we keep her in that section, especially if we are using real-time with pause with the pause every round, we can do things like at level 3, we can make better use of Call Lightning, which what Call Lightning does is you use it and it immediately casts a lightning on one enemy, but then each round as a standard action. Yes. Each round after the first, you may use a standard action to cast another bolt of lightning. So we've got 3d6 up front, and then each round, as long as it lasts and it's a minute per level, you can utilize that same. You can utilize another lightning bolt on another enemy. The utilization of the lightning bolt does subtract a minute from the duration of the spell. So currently we would have 3 minutes, which would mean we could cast 4 total lightning bolts over the course of 4 rounds. If we don't know when the rounds are ending, though, so if you're playing with real-time on pause and you don't have like the round ending set in, it would be very difficult to pause it precisely when the rounds are ending, so you can continue to utilize those, and you're probably going to miss out on at least one, no matter how frequently you pause. So at this point, I am also not really that interested in getting point blank shot. I don't think we're going to need precise shot because I don't care about the damage that she's doing with her crossbow. Primarily in the future, what we're going to have her doing is doing Fortune, or way down here, Protective Luck, and right here I'm going to get Chanting. I may do that the opposite way. I may get Protective Luck right here and get Chanting down here. So what that means is essentially every round Protective Luck is a standard action right here. And this is the one that causes them to roll disadvantage against, in this case, we just keep using it on the tank. But she would essentially just be using this every single round on the tank until we're able to get to level 8, which then she would be able to pick up Chanting. And that's the way that she's going to be of the most use to us. So, in that case, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put her on hold. I will level her up at the beginning of the next level. I'm not sure what I want to pick with her right now. Let's get Snuffles up a level here. He's pretty easy. He's going to be Mobility Perception. And we don't have an extra point in Intelligence yet, so we can't pick up any Teamwork feats. We also can't pick up... I don't remember what the other one was that I was thinking about getting. Oh, Crane Wing. So we also can't pick up Improved Unarmed Combat, I think is you need 3 for. Unarmed Strike, yes, we need 3 intelligence for this as well. So what we're going to take here instead of either of those things is Toughness, which is just going to give him some extra hit points. And Lan. For Lan, we are going to take the other couple that we're going to use in Zen Archer here. So we'll be taking at least to 3. Just to 3, actually. I don't care if I don't get the key powers. And we'll be plugging in Stealth, Athletics, and Perception. And the feat here, we do want Precise Shot. Oh, actually, nope, we don't want Precise Shot. We want Boon Companion. Because we get an extra feat right here where we can get Precise Shot. And we're going to go with Way of the Longbow because we aren't going far enough to get the key arrows, which change the damage of either bow of ours to the Monk's Unarmed damage. If you do go to level 5 in Zen Archer, you really should just go to level 20. However, we're going to be leaving after level 3 here, so the damage that our bow does matter. And our dog is going to have a level up here. He's also going Mobility and Perception. And he can already get Cleave and Finish. So, in Cleaving Finish, what it does is if he kills something, he gets an extra attack for free on the next thing. And I believe that we're just kind of going to want to use Cleave anyway, so technically what will happen is he is going to be cleaving, so he's going to be hitting 2 targets. Yeah, we still only have 1 attack for 2 more levels here at least. Oh no, he only has 2 base attack bonus. So our next attack doesn't come in until he gets the 6 base attack bonus. So we'll be using Cleave for quite a while still here. But what Cleave does, obviously, we talked about that, it's going to hit 2 targets. If he kills either of those targets, he's going to get another attack on another target. And we will grab our character here real quick. So we've taken 1 level in Reformed Fiend, we've taken 1 level in Vivisectionist. So we have the ability to take 1 more level in Vivisectionist and get our Bite from Feral Mutagen here. But I think what we're going to do, and this would also increase our base attack bonus by 1. I think what we're going to do is we're going to select our Oracle level this time. So in Oracle, we want to go with Enlightened Philosopher. And the reason that we're going with Enlightened Philosopher instead of the base Oracle is primarily just that we get this Knowledge Focus, Knowledge World skill, which just gives us more points in Knowledge World, which we're going to be using for creating potions. We're only taking 1 level in either of them. Either way, we're not going to get a base attack bonus. We're just going to get a will saving throw bonus, which does put us at a higher will saving throw than what we would otherwise have. And we're going Mobility, Arcana, and in this case, I think we're going to go with persuasion. And here we have power attack. Our next feat is going to be cleave. So we're going to be setting to auto cleave ourselves here. At least our next attack bonus won't come in until 8 or 9. I can't remember which one it is here off the top of my head, but it's for a while. So we'll be automatically using cleave for quite a while here. Oh, I'm sorry. We actually won't, because it takes away our ability to bite, and we're going to want to bite. We're going to take Wolfscarred Face. This is what gets us an extra bite. We're medium, so we're going to get a 1d4 damaged bite here. We're going to take Cure Spells, even though it's not going to matter a whole lot here. This does function on Charisma, so we will be able to cast the spells from Oracle. We're going to be taking the Battle option for our Mystery. And the reason we're taking Battle is for Weapon Mastery, which just gives us a free weapon focus feat. So this essentially gives us 2 feats within the same level. However, it's a specific weapon focus feat that we're going to get here. And there was a decision to make between Falchion or Scythe. In this case, I think I am going to be going Scythe. Falchion would be better utilized if you were going to play something like the Trickster Mythic Path, where you get access to all of the improved critical line of feats, which allows you to increase both the multiplier and the range. We're not going to be taking those because we're not going into improved Trickster. So having Scythe, which is going to crit a lot less frequently, but hit a lot harder for us, is going to be more beneficial, especially with these couple, feats that we've taken so far, which relate to killing something and getting an extra attack for killing something. All right, we'll pick out our spells here. I think these aren't really going to matter too much. We do have the ability to change any of these into a heal. I believe we'll just grab Divine Favor and maybe Shield of Faith, because we don't have anyone else that can cast that. So we'll be able to cast a couple of these, either Divine Favor on us, which will be good for a little while, or Shield of Faith, which technically will be good for a longer period of time. However, it's not going to upgrade because we're not upgrading the casting level of our Oracle ever during the course of this playthrough. So I would definitely suggest that you take smaller buffs there, because if you take any of the damaging spells, they're never going to do anything. And we can see that now we have these in our bar, at least. So we've got Cleave. I'm going to drop Cleave over... Oops, grabbed the wrong one. I wanted that one. Cleave over here on our sidebar. I'm going to move this heal down to the end here. I think we'll leave Blur where it is, and we'll just do this. So we've got buff, defensive buff, and then kind of heal. This one can dazzle as well as heal. And that is our second level where we drop a base attack bonus. So we still have the same base attack bonus as we did at level 1. However, we are going to be using a Scythe now going forward. So we are going to get another base attack bonus from having a Scythe equipped. And I believe we do have some in inventory. Yes, we do. Oh, being a little laggy here. We're going to go ahead and throw this back in our inventory. But we got... Oh, it's Masterwork. So we got 2 buffs essentially for equipping this. We got both the +1 from having a Masterwork Scythe and the +1 from our weapon focus. So we lost 1 base attack bonus, but for switching weapons and selecting our weapon focus, we gained 2 attack bonus. The next loss of base attack bonus won't be until level 6. In the interim, so level 4 and 5 will be 1 more level of Vivisectionist, which will come with a base attack bonus, and 1 more level of Reformed Fiend, which will also come with a base attack bonus. And then levels 6 through 10 will be Dragon Disciple, which we're grabbing both for the bite and for the strength increase, so our strength is going to go up very quickly in that section. So we will call this an episode here. I will in the interim I will go ahead and sell all of our inventory that we don't want, and we'll equip the inventory that we want to keep. We can run through once we get into our first fight and kind of finish it off. We'll run through how the attack bars look and what everyone's inventory looks like at that time. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.